What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Cat Attacks Live. Disclaimer, if you're expecting a cute little Serenity episode moment with me, that does happen sometimes here on this podcast. This episode is not it because we are going to get hyped. We are going to get motivated. I have a lot of information to give to y'all, and I'm so excited. It's been an interesting time, and I think moving into the next half of 2023 is just going to show that. So, straight into it, I'm all about action right now. Like, just doing it, doing the do. Like, you know how they say belief is half the battle? I believe that it's 40% of how you see it and how you see yourself, and 60% of how you're doing something and how you're executing. Okay, because we can sit here and think about our lives that we want and like manifest for ourselves all day. I could sit here and be like, this would be great if I could just vacation every single week in this place and go to Venice and go to Korea and go to Japan, blah, blah, blah. I could do that all day. Sometimes I do. But like, what's going to get me there is a step-by-step process of the things and the person that I want to become. And we're starting off strong because my goal, guys, this is new. My goal is to become a millionaire in 5 years. And 5 years is actually a long time, so I'm going to cut it down to 3. My goal is to become a millionaire in 3 years. My goal is to have a TED Talk in front of thousands of people explaining how I got to a point of becoming a millionaire at age 30, 31, 32. So yeah, that's what I'm on. It's that powerful, guys. I've really been on a kick. So I left my job last August, right? And if you guys are listening, you know how that worked out. I really was exhausted, overrun. I was done. I didn't want to work for anyone ever again. And then it threw me into the zone where I was kind of like withdrawing, a lot of gray, a lot of uncertainty, what was going to be next. And then this year is when I hit that zone where I'm like, you know what? I need to start working for myself. I need to have my own business. I don't want to work for anyone else. I want to be somewhat of an entrepreneur, but that's such a big umbrella term word. I just want to be able to have this like financial freedom that I need in my life. And like, I'm good now, but like I could be better. More is more all the time. So we're going to get there. More is more. Yeah, guys. So that's just a quick introduction as to what this podcast is going to be about. We're going to be talking about action. And apologies if I talk too fast. My mind's on one today. It feels really good. It feels really light. So you all know that I'm a very spiritual person, and like it's on my face, it's on my body. Very spiritual. On the other side of that is a very scientific, pragmatic, solution-oriented person. And when they meet in the middle, I like to call it walking a bridge. I walk this bridge all the time. I love sitting in the center of it because everything is energy, but everything is also like science. Okay, so all of that is real for me. We're gonna be right in the center. So what's gonna bring us to a point of understanding is that we're all going through the same thing, right now. Money is everything. If you have financial freedom, you have all freedom. Financial freedom equals all freedom. We love money. We love money. Look, the cats just come running by because they they hear the word money and they just understand it. So anyways, yeah, how are we going to get there? I think that it's just an important conversation. They say that money doesn't buy happiness, but I'm over here like, I know it doesn't buy happiness, honey. I'm not dumb. It's not going to buy me an emotion. It's going to buy me and pay for my rent and then pay for my other bills and then like pay for my vacation. That's going to make me feel happy. It gives me security. That's what I'm talking about. I hate that phrase is so, I feel like that phrase has just died because everyone understands what money can do. So here we are. So moving a little more into context. So yeah, if I were to introduce an episode for anyone to listen to my podcast, this is it. I've had 20 episodes, right? I've had multiple people on there, guests and stuff, and I love them. My podcast is still a baby, and I will be honest, like it's not as consistent as it is. So if I were to introduce one episode, this would be it. I want to be able to let everyone know that anything in their life is possible, and I'm going to give them like as much like relation and motivation as I can. So here we are. Hello, everyone. context too, like, not for nothing, who am I as a person? Who am I to say these things to you? What have I gone through in my life? What kind of person am I really? Like, for me to tell you this information and to think that, like, oh, I'll listen to this person. I don't even know who the fuck she is. But it's like, I will tell you today. I will tell you today, everybody. Before I get to that, though, can we talk about how we need to focus a little bit more? Can we talk about how important it is for you in your life for you to focus on the things that you're meant to do and your purpose? Keeping it real. We're spilling the tea today. I answer this question. You can do it rhetorically. You can do it right now in the space of silence. But, like, who are you? Who are you? And where do you want to be? Give you 2 seconds. Who are you and where do you want to be in your life? What are you doing right now? All my listeners are different ages, and that's amazing, and I love that. But this question is going to hit everybody somehow. Where do you want to be in your life? If you don't have an answer, that's okay. If you have a direct answer and you already know and you're already planning it, that's okay too. We, as human beings, and in this society, in this economy today, in this lifestyle, in this lifetime, have a big responsibility. You can either be who you say you are and becoming, or have someone else dictate that, or have someone else control that. It's one or the other. And if you're stuck in a loop of having someone else manage you, even if that's not who you are, I advise you to listen to the rest of this, but I advise you to even just take a break and second and ask yourself if that's what you're going through. Are you under the influence of something else because you need something else? What about the things that you're doing for yourself to grab that for yourself? Right? I'm a big manifestation person. I love talking about manifestation. I love talking about the idea and the process of how to do it. I think everyone's way of manifestation is completely unique, and that's okay because every single person on this planet is completely unique, and I love that. So I made this up this morning. Literally, guys, I woke up and chose violence. I said, this is awesome. I'm gonna say this to everyone right now. It's called the 111 manifestation rule. So if you guys are not familiar with angel numbers, 111 represents new beginnings. Starting something, a creation of something. 111. Okay. So the rule is 1 year. Give yourself 1 year. Give yourself 1 year. Look into the future. Where are you going to be in 1 year? How do you feel in 1 year? Who are you surrounded around? What is your energy in 1 year? Zoom in. Give yourself 1 month. 1 month. How are you going to see the things come to fruition in 30 days? Zoom in 1 day. What are you doing this 1 day in order to get to that point? 1 year, 1 month, 1 day. Okay, so use that framing. I think that if we look too far into the future, everything becomes overwhelming, and I'm that type of person, so I don't look too far ahead. I think 5 years is my max, and I even think 5 years is a long time. So, like, when I say 1 year, everything changes in a year. This point last year was so different, and then now it's like, well, I wouldn't have expected to be here, and I love that. But because I was in control of that. So 111 manifestation rule. Write it down if you want to. I think that it's just really efficient for me to think about what I'm doing today, in the next month, and in the next year, because everything is going to change. If you guys are not prepared for the change, you're going to drown underneath the wave, because it's a lot. I think it's a lot. And not to scare anybody, but it's like I said, you're in control of doing the things to get to the point where you want to be the person that you want to become. You're in control of that. And no matter how fast you move, like, pace doesn't matter. No matter how fast you move, all of these, actions and tidbits of information, habits that you create are going to be so important to you and your self-discovery and your self-development. Okay. But yeah, who am I as a person to tell you these things? Who am I to tell you, like, oh my god, Kat, like you're just sitting on the internet, like whatever. A lot of people don't know my story, and like that's cool. But here I am today telling it to you guys. So I'm 27 right now. I've been in the fitness, nutrition, lifestyle. I don't even know what it's called, but I've been involved in fitness for about 11 years. 11 years. That is a decade plus. That's a long time, everybody. So I'm, like I said, so I started when I was like 16, 17, right? When I was growing up, I was actually like a really heavy set person. My biggest was 240 pounds. 240 pounds in like middle school, high school, freshman year. Like that's pretty big. PE was my least favorite class because I obviously would be so insecure. I'd watch all the girls run and like be the last doing the mile. I was so insecure and I was so like I was leading a sedentary lifestyle in middle school. I was big. I didn't care about what I was eating. You don't really think about these things in school. But like the way that my body was like bigger than everybody else. And it kind of like, context, it just kind of affects me sometimes to this day. But anyways, the person that I am versus the person I was are two different people. I've died like 5-6 times in the last 27 years of my life. A literal cat, by the way, everybody. So when I was 16, I had a goal in mind. And we're going to get into this. So, yeah, I had a goal in mind. I was a big professional wrestling fan when I was 16. At like 8 years old, 10 years old, I started watching wrestling. And I was like, oh, my God, I love this so much. Like, every single person is so beautiful. And every single person is just, giving me life. I wanted to become a wrestler because of that. Because I could help myself and help other people. Like, it came from a space of influence, honestly. Like, when I watched those women in the ring flying off the top rope and just being badasses, like that to me was like my biggest thing. I love badass women. So I was like, I could do this. I looked at myself in the mirror at 16 years old in my room on a school night, and I was like, I am going to become a professional wrestler. What happened after that? It was like spring break time, sophomore year, summer into junior year. I started working out. I started doing everything that I said I was going to do. And it took me a lot of information, took me a lot of, moving and changing, a lot of changes. I started running. I started going to the gym, just continuously working out. I said no to a lot of foods. I changed my diet completely. And by the time I entered junior year of high school, I had lost like 40 pounds. Walked in the first day, everyone was like, oh my God, Kat, like you look so good, like you're losing weight, and I was like so happy and elated. Fast forward the end of junior year, summer into senior year, I had lost about 80 pounds. And coming from experience, 80 pounds in 1 year is not healthy. A little after that, I weighed myself. So 240 was what I started with, right? That's how I was walking around for a long time. 240, I lost 80. And then my lightest ever in my lifetime, I'll never forget it because when I weighed myself in the morning, I actually scared myself. I was at 114.6 pounds. That's a lot. I lost a person in weight. I lost a person in weight in about a year. I am 5'8". I am not a small person. I am not a short person. I am 5'8". To be 114 pounds is scary, skinny. I was like a twig, everybody. Like I was able to be snapped in half. I wore a size 3. All my shirts were extra small. Like I was very, 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 very skinny. That was a point in my life where I was like, you know what? This isn't healthy. And I started doing something different. I started lifting more weights. Senior year, actually, we had a class that was like strength and conditioning where we were learning how to bench press and squat and all that stuff. And I had a gym membership at the time, and like I would do that then. Then I started eating more and I started lifting more. I had 3 leg days a week. So much chicken, you can't even fathom. Like I was doing more and experimenting all these things, because I was at a point where I was not healthy, y'all. at a point in my high school life, I did not have my menstrual period for 1 entire year. 1 entire year. That is not okay. That is not healthy. And of course, at the time, I did not know what it was going to be doing to me. At the time, I didn't know that it was actually super unhealthy. Don't do what I did. Please don't do what I did. And there's just so many layers to this. I was doing Insanity, which is a program by Beachbody. That's like heavy cardio every single day for about 2 years. I did one 30-day program like 6 times. Like, I am the definition of insane. I'm the definition of insanity, because all of these things where I was still in school and I was still on the way to graduating and I was still, doing all these things and doing all my studies. It from 16, 17 to 22, 23, this whole 5-6 year period of my life was only like working out. Was only like dieting, nutrition, losing weight, gaining weight, learning new things, wrestling. I got to a point, right? Of course, after high school, I started wrestling and I did the thing that I said I would, right? So wrestling for 2 years, I did like 6 or 7 matches. I traveled at one point. Like, I got some like attention from WWE and all that stuff. And like, just things that I didn't think would be happening to me, but I was able to see because I worked for it. After wrestling, I got into Muay Thai kickboxing. At the time, Ronda Rousey was the biggest name in the UFC. And of course, again, I love bad bitches. So here I am doing bad bitch things. Go to the UFC gym, take a kickboxing class, and see how you feel. And at that point, like, I had like just blinders on my eyes. Was not going back. I was at the point of no return, and I was going to do the thing. And then after wrestling, I kind of started falling out of love with it. I got into kickboxing, and I started falling in love with kickboxing. And I did that more and more to the point where I actually went to a MMA gym, and I started doing Muay Thai and boxing. And I did that for another 2 years, working out with all these different fighters, energies classes every single day, maybe 2 classes in a day, just no break. No in between. I was working a job as well full time, so it was like back and forth. My schedule was the same. I was able to have a fight. And like lose weight for that and cut weight and like all these insane things from 16, 17 to 19, 20, 21, 22 was me. This was me. Right? I was just living in a space of action, working out, fitness, nutrition. It's fucking insane. And like when I look back at it, like, of course I wouldn't know a lot about my divine feminine because I wasn't paying attention to my emotions at the time. So that's where I really faltered. 22, 23, I got into a relationship, and that kind of threw me into that zone where I was now dealing with another person, relationship that, never been in my life. Like a same-sex relationship, me and this person, like, we're so new to this, and like I was overwhelmed, and I stopped taking care of myself, like consciously and subconsciously, because I was not familiar with the territory. Fast forward, I'm not gonna go into it, whatever. Now I'm here. I'm 27. If you guys know, like, I died in 2020, as in like when I lost my mom. My mom passed away. So many changes in my life, and like the last few years have been just a consistent period of healing, growth, and learning how to love myself again. Learning how to accept myself again and try to make something different. So now I'm here. Hello, that is my backstory. My name is Kat. So yeah, like I really have a lot to say, everybody. My cats are on the table again. Hello. Thank you. So with that in mind, how we see ourselves, how we move forward is completely up to us, because I wouldn't have done all these things without that goal, without that bigger picture, without that, like, yes, I'm going to do this again and again and again, learn about myself again and again and again. Like, you don't understand how much possibility you really have when you apply yourself, and not just think about it, but actually do it. But actually get out there and say, fuck it, take a risk, jump off that cliff, and see a new version of yourself. When you jump from your comfort zone, it's so scary. Trust me. Like, it's so scary. But when you find a way to land, because you always will, you're going to find this new version of yourself that you didn't think was possible. I can't stand people who quit doing something for the first time because they think they look stupid at it. They think they look dumb. They're embarrassed. Babe, if you've never done something before in your lifetime, you're going to look stupid. But you thinking that is you. You only. For example, if you and I go to an archery place right now and learn how to shoot bow and arrows, you've never done it before. I've done it once. You've never done it before, and you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to do this. Like, you're not my type of person. No. Because the way that you speak to yourself, quitting because you're afraid, that's not how you roll. You learn a lot from failing. You have to learn how to love failing. Failing to me is more beneficial than succeeding by chance. Like, I learn so much when I fail at something and try again until I succeed. That moment of success for me after realizing I just did it is like, boom. It's like new level unlocked, like new XP level. Like, I'm up here now. Like, damn, I reached a different level of myself because I didn't know how to do this like an hour ago. But here I am now. I love that. That's continuous change. That is something a lot of people undervalue and do not understand because they've never tried something new over and over and over again. Maybe it's because I have undiagnosed ADHD, whatever. I'm not claiming that I don't, but like, you try something new over and over again, you're going to start seeing like the benefits, like mentally, physically, it's all going to come together. And I think that's amazing. So failing, to me, I'm not afraid to fail. I've failed more than I've succeeded. That's on period. Like, I've failed more times than seeing something happen that I want and then moving accordingly, adapting to it, than seeing it like happen. You know what I mean? Adapting after failure is such an important quality to get to where you want to go in your lifetime, because you're going to reach failure. That's inevitable, everybody. Like, that is going to happen. And when that happens, how are you going to react? What type of person are you going to be after that shit hits the fan? You know what I mean? What's going to come from that? If you think that you're going to quit after that, like, what's the reason that you're going to quit? It's because it didn't work your way? Nothing is going to work your way. Ever. Not by the first shot at it. You know what I mean? But when you continuously get up and when you try again, that's where you learn the process of succeeding. Because the process is way more important than the destination. The process is way more important than the end result. Okay? So that is the perspective shift. That is you learning that you are capable of success, but you can't be afraid of failure. You can't. Because failure is going to happen no matter what. Failure happens all the time to everybody. So you're not alone. You know what I mean? So what does my fitness journey have to do with this entire podcast? Well, I want to talk about physical activity in the way that I'm such an advocate for it, right? Because physical activity to me equals mental clarity. When I move, my thoughts are moving. I do tend to overthink at times, and that's just me realizing me. But when I'm able to move it, either physically, tangibly, maybe I'm like not dancing, or maybe I'm like doing yoga or whatever, I'm drawing, whatever, like, that is me moving the anxiety. That's me moving my thoughts because they need to be expended. Expansion of your energy. You know how a lot of people have anxiety because they don't move. A lot of people have anxiety because they have sedentary lifestyles and they're just sitting in their own like worry and anxiety. It's better to understand that when it's better to relate that, because like I feel like when we are living with all this stress, right? The last thing we want to do is so counterintuitive. The last thing we want to do is get up and move and be in pain. You know what I mean? But that's the first step in realizing that something needs to move. Okay. You have a lot of anxiety, take a deep breath in and out. You focus, it makes you focus like 10 times more. That's you moving. That's you moving your thought. Okay, even as simple as that. That's why I love yoga. It's not too strenuous, but you're breathing the entire time. Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna get into it. When you live a sedentary lifestyle, it feels like you're out of control with yourself because everything is happening around you, and you feel like everything's happening to you. When you take control and be accountable for the fact that, like, I need to do something about this, that's where you get in control. That's when you start using it to your advantage. We can't play victim in our life. We can't. All the things that have happened to me and all the things that I've experienced and all the things and the fucked up things and whatever, and not going into detail, I can't play victim in my own life. I cannot put that on me. My brother, love my brother to death. He really helped me with this, and it was a small little piece of information and just a quote. He said to me, I was going through this really tough time with the person that I was with, and we had broken up. It was a very tricky place to be in, where I was like, she was trying to help me be there because my mom passed away, but we were broken up at the same time. I did not feel good around this person. I feel like I just had to like slam the door shut because I couldn't put myself there. I changed. I just was not feeling supported. I was crying on the phone with my brother, and I was like, what do I have to do? Like, I don't know. I was so confused. I'm so stressed and something's happening. I legit was like panicking. My brother was like, okay, so maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is a sign for you. This is it, Kat. Like, you have to do this by yourself. You have to remember. He said this, and it changed my perspective almost instantly. He was like, you are the main character of your life. Remember, you are always the main character in your life. As small and simple and cliche as that sounded at the time, I remember I leaned back and I was like, wow, no, I have been putting myself on the side for so long. When I needed support, no one was there for me. And why was I not putting myself in the front? Why was I not being the main character of my life? So, me telling you, you are the main character of your life. You are 105% in charge of how this movie is going to go. Whatever movie it is, right? So, why would you let outside forces influence you? What are the outside forces so powerful and that just make you crumble and not pay attention to yourself and make you neglect yourself? Is it the job? Is it the environment? Are the people you're surrounded? Is it the people that you call your friends? Like, whatever it may be that's hindering you from realizing your potential and growth and maturity and journey, whatever it may be, you know that all of that can change, but you have to take the reins. You have to pull it yourself. If you feel so out of control, it's because you're not taking control of your own life. That's what it is. Oh God, this is getting so deep. So, again, back to the action part. What are you going to do in order to get to that point, everybody? What are your goals for yourself? They could be tangible. They could be abstract, right? If you're talking about feeling more confident with myself or with yourself, or like confident in the things that you're doing, that's very abstract and that takes time. But it also takes a lot of action for you to get to that point. Like, I actually want to talk about confidence here as well. I see a lot of people with beautiful mindsets and beautiful ways of living and just love, feel so confident now. Like, there's just a platform on like social media, and I love that because we all need to relay information somehow, and no matter what kind of way we do it. There's also a lot of people on the other side of that where they don't feel as seen, heard, validated, and like it's really tricky for them to express themselves, or maybe they have issues with that, or maybe like they're trying to find themselves. But the confidence is all in the same. Like, I think confidence is like love. Like, you won't know what it is until you learn the hard way, until you experience it the hard way. Confidence is very pure, in my opinion. You walk into the room, you know someone who's confident is not going to be out here loud, boasting, talking, whatever. That's just icky. It's just icky energy. I don't like any of that. Someone who's confident is going to sit up straight. You know what I mean? Chin up, talk to you directly, and have this direct, you know, way of communicating, looking you in the eyes the whole time and giving you a smile. Like, that's confidence. Like, I'm looking at you and I'm paying attention to you. And all of that, I keep hitting my mic. All of that is built over time. I can't tell you how to be confident. I can't show you how to be confident. I can't make you buy something in order to make you confident. That's all you. I always say this. Everyone is 103% outstandingly unique. Everyone is unique in their own beautiful way. And for you to realize that and to hone it and to accept it is your responsibility. Okay? No matter what you're doing, the way that you do it is confidence. The way that you are, you have to hold and be proud of. Because no one else is going to do that. Who's out here doing the things that you do? Nobody. Who's out here accomplishing the things that you're accomplishing? Nobody but you. So have some confidence. So just remember that everyone's going through the same thing. Like doubting themselves, or like maybe speaking to themselves in a different language, or like, you know, speaking down or whatever. But it's like, you know, I'm the only person that's doing the things that I do, and I do it the best. Right? You are the only person that you're doing the things that you're doing, and you do it the best. So congrats, like, you've made it. Like, pick your chin up just a little bit, because that's the spice, that's the fire, that's the unique energy that we need all the time, you know? I can't hide myself. Like, I'm a very like upfront, bold person. I can't dim my light for anything or anybody. Like, that's just not how I do things. I want to be in the front because I am the main character, right? It's going to go back in circle. Confidence also takes humility. Another thing, confidence takes humility and trying something new. Like, you humble yourself just a little bit in order to learn something. You start applying it. You start learning it well. You start doing it well. That's where confidence comes from. But you have to keep doing that over and over again. No matter what you're doing, no matter what your craft is, no matter what your passion is, no matter what your job is, you have to keep trying something new in order to gain more confidence and skill. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge is everything. Information is so easily accessible. There is no excuse. I look up stuff on YouTube all the time. Actually, here's a funny story. A few weeks ago, my toilet was like not filling up properly, and I had to fix it by myself. So I had called my landlord, and I was like, yeah, this needs help. He sent another guy to call me, and then he kind of sounded suspicious and weird. And I was like, I'd rather fix this myself. You know what? I'm going to fix this myself. So then I ordered the part on Amazon. It came in, and I was doing all this like plumbing work. Your girl's a plumber. What the fuck? And I put the thing in the toilet, the fill valve. The fact that I know what that is insane. But I did it by myself, and now my toilet's running with a new part in it. Like, hello. Like, I would not have done it without the information that I had to look up and just learn how to do it. So now I know how to fix a toilet, is what I'm telling you guys. Like, put that under my belt. Put that in my resume, because like that's another story of like, you really have access to all this information to fix something, to learn something new, to apply something new, whatever. That's your responsibility. Everything is a process. Okay, every single little thing that you're doing now, into tomorrow, into the next year, right, next month, into the next year, is a process. Nothing. I think if you put too much of a structure on something, you're not allowing it to move the way that it's supposed to. Like, you know, when buildings are made in terms of like safety, and an earthquake happens, like, you know, there's a little bit of there's a little room for it to wiggle because it has to move with the earthquake. Another metaphor. I love me a metaphor. That's the same thing you have to do. Like, you have to be able to just flow with whatever's going on, because if you put too much of a structure on it, it's too stiff and it's too tense, like, it's going to break. So let yourself breathe with the idea that even if this is your end picture, big picture, right, which is whatever it is that you answered the question earlier, your big picture also has some room to grow into something different. You know, if you had told me last year I would be doing K-pop covers, and then a K-pop cover with like a whole production team. I would not have believed you. But here I am keeping myself open to the possibility because it's something that I want to do. And I've worked for it and I deserve it. I deserve the opportunity to learn something new and to be involved in something new. And I think that's just beautiful. So just keep yourself, keep that in mind with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Like, let it have some wiggle room because you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what kind of person that you're going to be. You don't know what kind of people you're going to meet. I think it's beautiful to have it grow into something else. A lot of people have this like strict image of themselves, and it's like, no, I can't do this because this isn't this. Like, you're boring. IMO, you're boring. Have some fun. Just let yourself be a part of the process. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be involved in the making, but other times you could just watch it and just be like, wow, like I really am this person. Like I feel so good becoming this person. The process and in the middle of becoming is where you have to enjoy the ride because you don't know what's going to happen. I'm grateful every single day that I wake up and make it myself a cup of coffee, see the cats that are healthy, and I just have my health. I'm grateful every single day because I don't know what's going to happen next. And like, as much as I'm in charge, I'm also open to like the possibilities of like cool things going down. So yeah, guys, just remember to let yourselves have some wiggle room. I think it's better that way. Going back to it, we're gonna wrap this podcast episode up. It's been such a pleasure to talk to y'all. If you like it, don't forget to like this video on YouTube, subscribe, follow me on Spotify, check out the other episodes if you're interested. Here it is. To close this podcast off, this time, the next 6 months can be very important, right? So this is a reality check for everybody. Are you listening? What are you going to do in the next 6 months in order to get to where you want to go? What is your goal in the next year? What is your goal in the next month? What is your goal today? 111, right? New beginnings everywhere. We're gonna put this into action. What are we doing? Feeling and thinking are so important. Planning is so important. And I'm a planner, trust me. But like, how are we just gonna say send it? How are we just gonna say fuck it and do it? Okay? You'll never know what's on the other side. Some pieces of advice here is one of them is keep it around you. Meaning, if you are in a room full of people that you want to be around and that they're living a life that you want to live, you're in the right room. I cannot tell you how many times I've done myself a disservice by being in a room full of people that I didn't even resonate with. I cannot tell you how many times that has happened to me, and I really tolerated that and I allowed that to happen. I was like, these people are not going to help me. They don't understand me. Why would I be in a room full of people that goals are two different, places? I can't. So you have to keep it around you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to lose weight, go to a gym. People losing weight, like, you know what I mean? Small as that. Just keep yourself consuming the correct information and consuming the right energy. Because if you're in the wrong room, you're in the wrong place, in the wrong direction, you're going to start feeling that. It doesn't sit right. That's how I left my job last year. So keep it around you. Keep what you want around you. Then my second piece of advice is keep it tangible. Keep it realistic. Keep it in front of your face. So if you have a goal, write it down. There's something magical about writing yourself a letter and writing yourself that goal, sticking on your mirror, on your fridge, on your microwave. I don't fucking know. Put it in your oven. Like, set your oven to 425 degrees. Keep it in front of you, okay? Keep it in front of you is so important because you'll see it every day. You'll see it every day, and you'll just keep that in your brain. Like, yes, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Not just thinking, not just feeling, but this is what I'm doing. I want this. Okay. Last piece of advice, and the most valuable one that I've been on recently, is keeping it simple. Keep it simple. Simple is the best. Simple is the best. And if you're like me, there's fucking an extension plan, an umbrella, and all these branches and all these terms and all this like fucking vocabulary and language, whatever. Keep it simple. If you can explain something to me like I'm a child, you know what you're doing. If you can't, and it takes you time to think about how you explain to whatever, you don't know what you're doing. So when you keep it simple in your life, you know exactly how it's going to get done, right? When you have that bullet point checklist of whatever needs to get done, keeping it simple, you already know what needs to be done. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to complicate it. It is where it's going to be, and it's already there. This is my final piece of advice. Was that the last piece of advice? No, this is the one. This is the one I want to leave and send off to you guys. Last thing before I leave, before I check out of this podcast, is consider it done. Whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like applying in your life, your purpose, consider it done. Spirit's watching you. Your energy is magnetic. You're attracting these things. If you say you want $1 million, it's already done. Consider it done. Continue to work for it, right? Believe in it, this possibility, and execute. Go get it. Go get it. Fuck it up, bitch. That's it for this episode. I really appreciate you guys for listening. I love you. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Spotify, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. We will return to this conversation, and everything is going to be different when I do. I love you. Thank you so much again. I'll see you next time. Stay well. Mwah.